Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. NB, a young boy, may have one of the more amazing list of qualifications with regards to getting captured. His current lawful circumstance includes various layers of charges across state also, government purviews, with the most recent key advancement being his consent to confess to a government weapons charge in Utah, that as well as a young boy has been detained at home in Utah while anticipating preliminary in Louisiana subsequent to looking at more than 60 lawful offense counts connected with an enormous scope solution extortion ring on the off chance that anybody around him is cheerful being his it. So without a doubt, owing attorney since he is by all accounts unfit to keep himself out of lawful difficulty, Hugh Jeden was brought into the world on October 20th, 1999, in Twirly-du Rouge, Louisiana. Golden broke his neck while wrestling as a little child, the injury requiring a head support until the spine recuperated. The support left long-lasting scars on his brow that are a piece of his brand name look. Gen was raised essentially by his maternal grandma due to his dad being condemned to 55 years in jail. He exited 10th grade and told his mother he needed to center around his music vocation and was soon captured for burglary and shipped off a detainment center in Tallulah, Louisiana there. He started composing verses for his debut project. After he was let out of the confinement community Gen's, Grandma passed on from cardiovascular breakdown, and Gene moved in with his companion and individual cudgels. Rouge rapper NB a 33. The two then utilized demonstrations of culpability to start to pay for studio time. G. Dean initially started delivering music with a mouthpiece he purchased from Walmart. At the point when he was 14 years of age, he delivered his first mixtape Life Before Popularity in 2015. Brilliant reported his introduction studio collection, Till the Very End Call Out to Me, in January 2018, not long after marking a joint endeavor manage Atlantic Records. It was here that his music vocation truly began to take off, and he began making hits that made it on the announcement top 100 and being highlighted on different outlines too. Then in September of 2020, he delivered his most current collection, Pop. The collection appeared at #1 on the announcement 200 and net. Turned into his third #1 collection in under 1 year. In 2015, young man got his very first charge. This experience with the law was the consequence of him having committed a theft at just 15 years old, while some rap special Stan obscure the lines among life and craftsmanship with their supposed crime fans can define a straight boundary between his first capture and first experience with rap. While imprisoned in Tula, Louisiana on this charge, Youngboy put pen to cushion and established a rap profession dependent on his pained life. These early thoughts would turn into the reason for what is currently his notable 2015 introduction mixtape Life Before. Acclaimed Youngboy talked about the time during an interview with them. He fader in humble terms, saying, "I had been rapping, however I used to conceal it. After the 6-month time of change and self-disclosure, a crook court judge picked for NBA's discharge, permitting him to go on into youthful adulthood with his opportunity unblemished, or possibly that was the aim. Since he had a drawn-out, difficult experience in front of him that would be full of issues with the law for the most part, with wrongdoings, including more youthful individuals, there is a reasonable heightening. Starting with one demonstration, then onto the next, yet not with this youthful rapper NB. A young man was captured at a show at which he was booked to perform on November 28, 2016. The capture in Austin, Texas emerged over regulation authorization's conviction that young boy ridiculously shot firearms into a group by means of drive-by only weeks earlier. In Implement Rouge, the capture happened at an especially awful time for youthful kid who had recently turned 17 and was accordingly qualified to be at tempted as a grown-up. Investigators had the option to paint a distinctive image of potential disciplines enough to defeat young man's stubborn mentality, as he not just paid a post-conviction bail of $50,000 yet, in addition, acknowledged an arrangement to concede and follow officials in return for a less extreme jail sentence, having been accused of 2 counts of endeavored first-degree murder. Youngboy got off with a take of just 9 months behind bars and 3 years of probation, a slap on the wrist contrasted with the limit of 40 years detainment he could have gotten under Texas state regulation. The legal thinking isn't completely known at a public scale, so it is dubious if the amount of NBA. Youngboy helped investigators by giving data on 2 of the other claimed shooters in the drive-by. Notwithstanding the pivotal progress of tracks like Unapproachable and NBA, young man was captured on an outlaw warrant for having looked for to sidestep capture on charges of weapons ownership, grabbing, and attacking. NB, a youthful kid, just stayed in prison for multi-month until he paid his $75,000 bond. He took to virtual entertainment when the video was first distributed, saying the two were, as it were, playing yet the public talk on the matter remaining parts isolated after 2019. It truly felt that NBA Youngboy had really tried to understand and gotten himself back on an honest way of living. And that would seem to have been the situation until September of 2020 when police did assassinate him and he got busted. NBA got no less than 3 medications. Furthermore, firearm charges apparently include crime, ownership of medications, and ownership of a taken gun. His capture occurred close by 15 others after police answered to a call with respect to showing guns and recording a video. Cudgel Rouge police guaranteed the suspects captured were at no point ever broke in the future. Posse individuals and base kid guerrillas individuals too. At the scene, an official found various guns incorporating an AK-47 and expansion to hydrocodone, cannabis, computerized scales, and Xanax. Moreover, the NBA Youngboy alone was viewed as an ownership of $47,000 in real money at the hour of the capture. The Youngboy's legal advisor was quick to take up a thorough guard of his client. "Saint dating. We actually have the second revision in the U.S." The quick conviction of these individuals of color was unlawful in that it abused their sacred privileges. The ensuing look directed by policing was additionally unlawful. Even with the unlawful look-through that was led, no guns or, on the other hand, controlled hazardous substances were found on Mr. Jin's individual or in his quick control. Mr. Jidin is blameless of the charges he was set up for the previous evening. Furthermore, he anticipates guarding himself as such in his most recent legitimate difficulties. A Cudgel Rouge judge requested an NBA Youngboy into government guardianship Thursday after he was captured Tuesday in Utah, blamed for partaking in an enormous scope remedy misrepresentation ring. The Youngboy was currently out on bond as he confronted weapon charges, and Implement Rouge U.S. Region Court Judge Shelley D. asked that bond be denied. The young man has been on house capture in Utah. He was captured and set up for the Money District Prison on more than 60 lawful offense counts. Specialists accept the diagram-beating rapper was engaged with a plan of deceitfully acquiring the professionally prescribed drugs promethazine and codeine from a few drugstores in Utah. Essentially, two others have been captured, and as numerous as 8 others might have been engaged with the coordinated activity. As per a cache area sheriff capture testimony, the group supposedly called numerous drugstores, professing to be genuine specialists in the space utilizing their real medication authorization organization ID numbers, and bringing in solutions. Some were filled, however others were hailed as fake. Authorities said this keeps on showing an example, reliable with an authoritative construction. An examiner composed as specialists examined Gwendolyn Cox, who said she was a 75-year elderly person, reached Cache District Dispatch and requested to talk with an official specialist trust. This equivalent name was utilized to fill a portion of the false solutions during the discussion with Gwenda Lynn. It was very intelligible that a phony voice was being utilized, composed the examiner. Gwendolyn seemed as if she was a lot more youthful male from the southern states in the call. The individual utilized the word a setup of ask. The composed sworn statement doesn't say whether specialists trust this call was with Jiden or not yet. In a later discussion with the specialist, the rapper purportedly utilized the word exin, the same way the main proof referred to by specialists of one of these deceitful calls occurred in September 2023. On Tuesday, specialists captured Jiden and looked through his home. As per capture reports, they saw numerous solution jugs of promethazine with codeine Jiden. He likewise said he had no information on his partners getting any deceitfully positioned remedies. In absolute, Jiden F 20 counts of personality extortion, 20 counts of securing or endeavoring to secure a remedy drug, 20 counts of phony, and 1 count of medication ownership, 1 weapons count and record of an example of unlawful movement. I'm scared of individuals. I'm extremely terrified of individuals. Like on my kids, I'm scared of individuals. It resembles having zero control over ourselves, so no one can really tell what somebody was going to do to you. With regards to the rap industry, there are a ton of rappers who are dependably all through prison, whether it's for things they did in the past or new issues that land them in legitimate difficulty. One of those rappers is NBA Youngboy. He's managed legitimate issues previously and is confronting some at this point, which is the thing we will discuss today. Not exclusively will we talk about how he got secured, but at the same time there's assertion on the road about some spilled film showing NBA Youngboy getting into a squabble that didn't end well. This film has been making adjustments on the web, so we should make a plunge rather than evidence. Past a sensible question, it's a lower obligation to prove any claims. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.